My daughter told me I was too old to walk her down the aisle, so I walked someone else down instead, and the video went viral. Hello everyone, welcome to Reddit Visuals. You know, I used to believe that no matter how much you sacrifice for your children, in the end, they'd see it. But some children can be so terrible that it'll leave you wondering if you imagine the whole relationship. I'm about to tell you the story that proved it to me. So I'm 63, I'm not ancient, I don't use a cane, I don't huff and puff walking up the stairs. I mow my own lawn, I volunteer at the community center, and until recently, I helped coach Little League. But to my daughter, Emily, I was apparently nothing more than an old man she didn't want to be seen with. And that truth hit me like a freight train. Let me back up. Emily's my only child. Her mom, Laura, passed away when Emily was 11. Since then, it's been just us. I raised her, poured everything I had into making sure she felt safe, loved, supported. I was at every parent-teacher conference, every recital, every sporting event. I sewed her Halloween costumes. I stayed up with her when she had the flu. I did the best I could as a single dad trying to fill 2 roles. And for a long time, I thought we were close. When Emily met Jason, her fiance, I was genuinely happy for her. Jason seemed decent enough, a little standoffish, but maybe he was just nervous around me. I didn't mind. I was thrilled when they got engaged, and Emily asked me to help with wedding planning. I offered to cover most of the costs. This was my baby girl's big day. Of course, I wanted to give her the wedding she dreamed of. And then about 2 months before the wedding, everything shifted. It started with small things. I noticed I wasn't included in group meetings with the planner. When I asked about it, Emily said, "Oh, Dad, you're so busy." We didn't want to bother you, but I wasn't busy. I wanted to help. Then came the seating charts. My name wasn't listed with the immediate family. I asked about that too. "Oh, it's just a draft, don't worry." And then the conversation that gutted me. We were sitting at her kitchen table going over final details. Emily wouldn't meet my eyes. She kept tapping her pen against the table. Finally, she blurted out, "Dad, I need to talk to you about the ceremony." I smiled, figuring maybe she wanted to practice the walk. "Sure, sweetheart. What's on your mind?" She took a deep breath. "I've been thinking about the processional and, well, I think it might be better if Jason's dad walks me down the aisle." I froze. I literally thought I misheard. "What?" "It's just, you're older now and I don't want you to feel overwhelmed or stumble or..." "Overwhelmed?" I said, my voice cracking. "Emily, I'm perfectly capable of walking my daughter down the aisle." She shook her head like she pitied me. "Dad, it's not about that. It's about the aesthetic, the photos. Jason's dad is younger. It would look more balanced. People wouldn't be whispering about how I have this old man beside me." I felt like someone had kicked me in the chest. All I could manage was, "Is that what you see when you look at me? An embarrassment?" She didn't answer. She just stared at the table. That was my answer. I went home that night and stared at the walls of my living room. Walls filled with photos of me and Emily at her first soccer game, her high school graduation, her college move-in day. I thought of every sacrifice, every moment I showed up, and I realized something. She didn't see any of that. She didn't see me. I won't lie, those next few days were dark, but then something inside me hardened. If she didn't want me by her side, fine. But I wasn't going to sit quietly, invisible, while she paraded around like I didn't exist. A week before the wedding, I was at the community center where I volunteer. One of the young women I mentor, Sophie, 23, kind, always smiling, was there. We got to talking and somehow she mentioned she was heartbroken. Her dad had bailed on her wedding, said he couldn't be bothered. The ceremony was the same weekend as Emily's. And in that moment, something clicked. I said, "Sophie, Would it mean something to you if I walked you down the aisle? Her eyes filled with tears. It would mean everything. And that's exactly what I did. I bought a new suit. I showed up on time. I walked Sophie down that aisle with my head held high. The photographer captured it all. This beaming young woman and the man who chose to be there for her when her own father wouldn't. Someone posted the video online. I didn't even know at first. But within days it blew up. Millions of views. Comments pouring in. People calling me a hero, a real dad. Saying they wish they'd had someone like me. Meanwhile, Emily's wedding happened. I wasn't there. I heard through relatives it went fine, that Jason's dad beamed in the photos, that Emily looked radiant, but no one talked about it online. No viral moments, no outpouring of support, just another pretty wedding. A week after both ceremonies, Emily called me. For the first time in a long time, she sounded small. Dad, why didn't you tell me about Sophie, about the video, about all of it? I was quiet for a beat. Then I said, Emily, you made it clear you didn't want me by your side. I didn't want to force myself where I wasn't wanted. Sophie did. She started crying. I didn't mean it like that. I don't know what I was thinking. But here's the thing. I think she did mean it. Maybe not consciously. Maybe she thought she'd make up for it later. That I'd always be there, waiting in the wings. But people aren't props. We're not there to be picked up or put down when convenient. We talked for a while. She apologized. I could hear the regret in her voice, and I forgave her, because I'm still her dad, because that's what dads do. But something in me changed that day. A line was drawn, and I think she knows it. So that's my story. My daughter told me I was too old to walk her down the aisle. So I walked someone else down instead, and the video went viral. Was I the a-hole? Did I overstep by stepping up for someone else? Or did I just finally stop waiting to be seen? Let me know in the comments, what would you have done in my shoes? And if you like this story, please like, comment, and subscribe. It really helps the channel grow, and I've got more jaw-dropping stories coming your way. Thanks for watching.